Yeah. All right. What's up, everybody? Today we have the regional championship. I guess for those who don't know, my name is Josh Squeaky Market from Team Fish Knuckles, and I'm joined by somebody else.
Hello everyone, my name is Pablo Meza, also known as Tableman, and we'll be streaming live from Fort Wayne Regionals.
That's right. And I guess right now we have a Vespiquen versus a Greninja matchup, and if you didn't see it, the Greninja player molded again 8 or 9 times?
9 times, I believe. 9 times.
So, I mean, if that doesn't set up this Vespiquen player, I don't know what else will, because that's 9 extra cards. That's amazing.
And in all those mulligans, we did not get to see any Talonflame or anything, so Dominic might only be playing for Froakie, which is a very bold move in my opinion.
Yeah, no rim raids either, so I guess it could be really bad. I don't know.
Guess we'll find out what Dominic has in store for Darren, but Darren's gonna get a really explosive turn 1, I think.
Yeah, he's got 2 unknowns, 2 Combies, but I mean, you expect that with like 9 mulligans. Like, you're gonna get set up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Acrobat can look at the top 2 cards of his deck, and he's got a Shaman and a Zoroark, and neither one's useful. Like, he doesn't need Shaman, doesn't need Zoroark right now.
Yeah. Actually, guys, I played against Darren yesterday myself. I was playing Greninja, and he beat me in the last round, so I know a little bit about his deck. And usually his turn 1s are very long because he's doing all the acrobikes in order to discard more Pokemon. He has the Klefkis, he has the Unknowns, he has the Trainer's Mails, the Ultra Balls. So we're in for a quite a long turn 1. Although maybe the mulligans were not so good as we see an N.
Yeah, because he end and he's only dropped 2 unknowns. But I mean, who knows? He's gonna Pharaoh Letter twice, discard and draw a card. Probably. Did Zoroark make a difference in your matchup for the Myjack or no?
No, he actually always went for Vespiquen only. He never even benched a Zorua. He would always keep them in hand and discard the Zoruas and Zoroarks. So his main focus is Vespiquen and trying to thin out his deck to make sure he has access to Verseeker for Lysander or Ranger in case he needs it.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the Klefki can be basically attached to a tool, to a Pokemon, then unknown discards, draw cards. That way you can kind of stack and discard multiple Pokemon in one turn, which is what we saw. We saw the Klefkis being attached to a Klefki, and then be attached to an unknown. So then you can discard it and and have a bunch of Pokemon. But yeah, so Dominic's gonna Balloon and Faded Town, which Faded Town's obviously useless in the matchup, but you don't want to have it in your deck.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
And right now we see Dominic play an N with a single basic Pokemon in play. So if he whiffs another basic Pokemon or something like a Dive Ball, an Ultra Ball, or a Level Ball, then we might see a really quick game 1.
Yeah, but the good thing right now, I don't know, it's interesting because Darren decided to put the DC on the bench Combi, knowing that Dominic couldn't really attack. Like, so maybe he might whiff a Vespiquen or something, so we'll see. But if he gets 2 Vespiquens, then obviously it's game.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't believe we see another basic Pokemon for Dominic.
So we'll have to see a bubble?
Yeah. And that still just means...
double evolution, yeah.
Yep.
So here we go. It's going to be a bubble. If heads, he is paralyzed, and it is heads, so he is paralyzed. But if you evolve, you can't get out that paralyzation. So we see a Klefki.
We see an Ultra Ball in Darren's hand, so he's guaranteed to get at least one of those.
And he discards an Acrobat and Shaman, okay. So he's going to for sure get the Vespiquen, going to evolve that one. Yeah. Then he's got, I think he had a Sycamore. I know for sure I saw VS Seeker.
Yeah. I'm really surprised he discarded 2 cards that could potentially get him closer, either to another Vespiquen or to a double colorless energy for the win.
Because you kind of just want to keep drawing, because you know right now you just win if you just knock out the Froakie. Dominic has no more bench Pokemon. He goes for an N. Wow. Okay, so maybe he knows something that we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's trying to make sure that even if he whiffs, he can still, in a longer game, he won't have the liability of having Shaman EX on the bench, being an easy target for Greninja Break's Giant Water Shuriken.
That's true. Like, if you whiff it and then you have Shamans on the field, that's 2 free prize cards for essentially the Greninja player.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Unless he does, he find a DCE. There's a Shaman, Zora, and there's Vespiquen. So he's gonna Vespiquen retreat, be revenge, and that's gonna be a game 1. He has ton of Pokemon.
Yeah.
It hits for weakness. So yeah. So game 1 going to Darien. So.
Man, that's a rough way to start the day for Dominic. You mulligan 9 times. Your opponent doesn't really get too much out of it, but then you whiff this second basic off of the end.
Yeah, and I'm still. I mean, I don't know. Still trying to figure out if Dominic plays like more basics or not, or if it's just for Froakie, which.
He flipped over his prices right now, and I don't think I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see any prize. Yeah, I saw Splash Energy, so we know he's playing multiple of those to recycle his frogs.
Which makes sense. So we'll see here as both players set up game 2. This is an interesting matchup. I feel like Greninja definitely has a chance. It's not as lopsided as Vespiquen and Vileplume was against Greninja in the previous format. But the speed of Darren's deck and the inherent slowness of Dominic's, I think gives Darren a good advantage in this match.
Do you know if Darren plays Forest of Giant Plants?
I believe he does not.
Okay.
The only stadium I saw him play yesterday was Parallel City, interestingly. So I guess that was his line of defense against Mega Ray. And then I believe he only ran 1, so it didn't become a factor in our games.
Yeah, true.
But that's the only stadium I saw him run.
Well, see, I was worried about Dominic. If he starts with the lone Froakie again and he plays Forest, he could potentially win on the first turn. But you're saying he doesn't. But it looked right now. Oh, he did start a Kemony. Okay, I saw like Klefki and other stuff, and I was scared he had to start with the Klefki, which is always the worst.
And Dominic doesn't mulligan a single time.
And there's a draw.
Okay, so he plays at least 5 basic Pokemon.
Yeah, we know for sure, at least 5. So he's got a Trainer's Mail, look at top 4. And I think I saw it in his hand, but I don't know if I saw anything off the Trainer's Mail.
Yeah.
I saw Sycamore, but you don't want to grab it. Greninja, Sycamore. And yeah, just not going to get anything.
Yeah.
He's got 3 balloons in his hand, so you definitely don't want to Sycamore that away.
I think it's 2 balloons and a Professor's Letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think I would have attached the energy to the Jirachi at least to make sure you have the energy to retreat next turn for the turn 2 water duplicates.
Yeah, for sure. But maybe who knows about Dominic? He could be playing switches.
He could.
Yeah, he has enough space with no other Pokemon. I mean, we don't know. I mean, like I said, the Jirachi all of a sudden came out of nowhere, so.
I've never pulled off a triple giant water shuriken myself. Because I've never played any switch effects in my Greninja lists.
No Olympias?
Only Floatstone, never Olympia.
Oh, yeah?
But maybe we could see that today. We don't know.
What if he Olympias and switches?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be crazy. Alright, so okay, he did get Dive Ball. Okay, so we know he plays Dive Ball. We did not see him play any Ultra Balls or Dive Balls or Love Balls, so we know for sure he plays Dive Ball.
Yeah. And from looking at his deck, I believe we did see the promo Greninja. We do see the multiple splash you mentioned. And quite a few energies.
Yeah, but I don't see any other Pokemon besides, just the frogs.
Yep. Looks like he went for a really, really straightforward way to play Greninja. I guess the only difference between that and my list was the Beedrill EX, which generated quite a lot of talk yesterday because many people either did not know what it did or were arguing that Minccino was better. But I mean, I was very satisfied with Beedrill's performance.
I didn't even know Minccino was a poke, like what it did until the other day. People were like, it discards tools. And I was like, what? No way. But looks like we see a Trainer's Mail. He's going to get the Via Seeker instead of a Dive Ball. I guess he must not have a Supporter card in his hand. So.
Yeah. And, I mean, he doesn't know he doesn't run Forest of Giant Plants, or maybe he knows, but you'd feel pretty safe in this position. As long as you find the 2 energies to retreat into a turn 2 Frogadier. Yeah. Should be comfortable here in order to have a better chance at this game if you're Dominic.
That's true. So he does have the water energy. He did draw back into that, so that's good. So he's going to pass right there. So on a Darian's turn, of course, he wants a Pharaoh Letter, get those Klefkis down, get set up, and it looks like he's going to do that this turn. He's got some Ultra Balls, but he's got double VS Secret, looks like, which is never good on the first turn.
Yeah, for sure. When you see double Verse Seeker and Sycamore as your only supporter, like that might put you far behind in the late game where you need to reuse the supporters like Ranger against Jirachi or like N in order to prevent your opponent from having too many resources.
Yeah.
And even though it doesn't seem like it's a big deal right now, in a longer game, it might actually matter.
That's true. You're going to be running out of supporters and waiting to play your supporters. So VS Seeker playing the Sycamore, going to discard, draw 7 new cards. See, Acropike draws an Azoric, but like you said, he didn't use it against you yesterday. So I imagine he's going to follow the same strategy.
Yeah. I'm guessing Zoroark is, once again, another line of defense against Mega Ray, perhaps. Yeah. But aside from that, like against Greninja, he only wants to focus on the Vespiquen. And I know he runs multiple, like more than 2, or at least 2 rather, of the trainer that gets back 2 Pokemon from the discard pile.
The Revitalizer?
The Revitalizer, yeah. So he can potentially have access to 6 Vespiquen. That's a lot of Vespiquen to deal with when you're a Greninja player.
Now, did you play Jirachi in your list yesterday?
Yeah, I did play Jirachi.
Did that make a difference at all? Like, did you ever Stardust against him, or?
I had access to it during my games, and the Stardust attack, discarding the special energy, was really important and allowed me to stay in the game. But Darren plays Pokemon Ranger, so instead of having to bypass Jirachi with Lysander, he could simply get rid of it and put a lot of pressure on my Subrods in order to get it back.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Darren just passed, but he left the Unknown on the bench. If Dominic could find a Lysander, he could bring that Unknown up and get it stuck. I see a Lysander in his hand, but I don't know if he has an Energy and Frogadier in his hand. I don't see it, so he should be okay.
Darren probably did that in case he gets End. If you have the Unknown on your bench, you essentially get an extra card in order to keep going. Against Greninja, it's very rare that they play a Lysander early on. They're mostly trying to set up that turn 2 Frogadier.
That's true.
So even though it is a risk, I feel like it's an okay risk to take on your first turn of the game against Greninja. Yeah,
that's true. Now we see a Burst Mode goes onto the Froakie. You played Balloons in your list, I imagine, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, I played 4 Balloons.
Now, did that help you at all against this matchup, or?
The 6 damage counters when you get attacked are really important as well, because they put Vespiquen in Shadow Stitching range, which prevents Darren from using abilities, and therefore any leftover Knowns or Klefkis or even Shaman get stopped. And in theory, it should be great, but Darren honestly overwhelmed me in both games yesterday, and I tried to make the best out of it, but in the end, I didn't really stand a chance with the hands I drew.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Dominic does have some pressure. He needs to find a Frogadier and a Water, and I see a Frogadier, but I don't think I see a Water Energy. And this is like, he's going to retreat. Okay, maybe he has a letter or
yeah, maybe we didn't get
there's Splash Energy. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
So the Splash Energy is really good here because we know Darren's most likely going to take a knockout this turn, and then the gets returned back into his hand. So.
Now, this is where you usually already know how many Frogadier are priced, and looks like none are priced. So that's really good news for Dominic, yeah. If he's gonna come back in this best of 3, this is the way to do it, with the Splash, with the Bursting Balloon, and having no Frogadier priced.
That's true. So when you played him yesterday, did you have any Frogadiers prized, or were they all there?
Game 1, I actually priced 2 Frogadier. So it was already a hard matchup, and that made it even harder.
Now it's like a super terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, Darren's getting set up here. He's got the Vespiquen. He's got a DCE. Doesn't need that many Pokemon in the discard pile for that weakness. So.
Yeah. And he's gonna get rid of Shaman. He just doesn't want to bench the Shaman at all.
That's true, yeah. Oh, but there's no. I think he has if he has a Sycamore, we know he has a Sycamore in the discard pile. That's what he played turn 1. So if he has another VS Seeker, he could discard the Shaman, but the third VS Seeker in the discard pile.
Yeah. So that means less. I believe he only plays 1 Lysander actually. So that could actually really matter in the long term, because, as I mentioned, Jirachi's protection, he would only have access to a potential 2 Ranger or a potential 2 Lysander.
Yeah.
That could be really important for Dominic.
But we see Darren did bench the Shaman, so that could be the 2 prize cards that Dominic needs in the end game to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He does find a Lysander, so he can not only avoid the the bursting balloon damage, which is huge. He can actually get rid of a Frogadier instead of putting the Frogadier back into Dominic's hand by KOing the one that has the splash.
Yeah, and then Dominic can't. I mean, I don't think he can take a knockout because the max you can do is 80. So you can't even knock out the Vesqueen next turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So this Vesqueen, it would live for at least 2 more turns, or at least another turn.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So.
Dominic does have the option of Jirachi, and that's also really nice because that 10 damage actually ends up being crucial for you to be able to KO Vespiquen with a Greninja using Moonlight Slash. So we'll see if Dominic goes for the...
Ooh, but he is just going to Sycamore. He's just going to Sycamore and not Lysander up a Froggy there. Okay. Maybe he wants to get set up more. Maybe get more Froakies down or something. I mean, no more Froakies, but more Combies down.
Yeah, and he even got rid of the special charge. So
yeah.
Darren being very aggressive here with his hand and with his resources.
Yeah.
He's getting a turn to knockout, but at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Dominic is going to promote this, and I think he has I see a Greninja in his hand, so he can go for the Moonlight Slash you're talking about.
Yeah.
Take a knockout, and then he's got another Splash Energy, so that Greninja's going back in his hand this turn.
Yeah.
So
looks like Dominic doesn't have too much else, though. Doesn't look like he has a supporter in his hand. He had Super Odds, he had obviously the Froakie and
a Greninja break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's going to take a knockout. He has no Burst Balloon either, so that Vesqueen on the bench will live for at least a turn or two.
Yep.
So, maybe they paid off.
Yeah, for sure. So, Dominic's hand is a bit dead at the moment, so
he top deck of Teammates. He can use it right now, gaining 2 cards out of his deck, and that's what we're going to see. And I imagine you're searching here for like Combies.
Maybe a Revitalizer to get the Vespiquen that just there.
Yeah, we see Revitalizer, and maybe a DC. Do you know if he plays more than 1 special charge?
I never saw more than 1.
Okay, so that could be huge in this matchup because he might run out of energies.
He might, but it's gonna depend on Dominic's hand, really.
That's true.
Because he really needs to top deck out of the position he's in right now.
So if you're Dominic, do you just promote the Froakie and let it get knocked out, or do you promote? Well, I mean, Greninja has fairy traits, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I always forget that. It's so good. Like I always.
Yeah, Greninja having free retreat is, I think, a huge factor in its success.
Yeah.
Because you're able to not only do the double giant water shuriken plays, but you're able to promote that whilst you see what else you draw and make sure you plan ahead.
So, because I mean, Dominic's gonna know that Darren has 3 VS Seekers in discard pile right now, so that's a huge thing. So,
well, he should know that, but I don't think I've seen Dominic check his opponent's discard pile so far, and I think that's something really important. After you use Sycamore, or after your opponent Sycamores, you should always give yourself like the 10 seconds it takes to check what he discarded, so that you have a notion of what resources he got rid of, what cards could be really important there.
That's true. Now, see, Dominic did top a letter, and he has a VS Seeker in his hand as well.
So his prize, his prize and the top deck were really good for him.
So, what would you do in this situation? Do you retreat to the Jirachi and go for Stardust?
Yeah, I think I definitely N plus the Stardust. That would put Darren in a really rough position, I think, because of what he has discarded. If he still had access to, I don't know, an extra Verse Seeker or 2, I would feel really comfortable if I was Darren, but seeing the special charge and the discard pile and the 3 Verse Seekers, I feel like as long as Dominic stabilizes after his turn and gets even a Greninja breakout to maybe get some extra damage counters in play,
that's true.
He should be good here.
Yeah, but we'll see. Oh, so Dominic is gonna look now. He's gonna say, okay, what do you have in there? We're gonna find out here in a second. He's gonna notice. He's gonna see the teammates, gonna see the DCs, and that'd be the first thing I notice. Is 3 VS Seekers. All right, we're ending here. Like we're ending down to 4, and hope it works. But like you said, Dominic needs to get these Greninjas to get these Greninja breaks. So
that's definitely why you would attack with the Jirachi. So that's less likely that the Greninja gets KO'd, and if in case you don't find another Greninja, you get to maybe find another one. But we don't see the N.
Yeah, we don't see an N, and we know Darren has a huge hand, but maybe Dominic's like, all right, he's played 3 VS Seekers. Maybe he doesn't have another one in his hand. So
Darren's deck is pretty thin as well, so an N to 4 is not going to hurt him that much.
True.
I guess.
But so if you're Dominic, Dominic, do you when you Moonlight or you Giant Water Skin, who do you try to aim for? Do you aim for the Shaman or do you aim for the bench Vessel Queen?
I think you go for whatever has energy.
Okay.
Because if
And
you're...
he does play a special second charge.
Wow. Okay, maybe he never needed a second special charge
Against
against
you,
me yesterday,
yeah.
but we do see a second special charge, so...
I just saw that. I was like, I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt, but I saw a second special charge. Like, oh, that's crazy. Okay.
So, never mind. Darren's in a really good position.
And he's got
right
Ranger.
now. Yep, there we go.
So, yeah, if Dominic had in him,
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll see what he decides to do. I mean, like earlier, you promote the Greninjas, got the fruit treat. And,
Now, unless you find... Well, we know he has the break and at least one energy.
Mm-hmm.
He does top deck the X-Trainer, so it's not bad.
yeah. Now, does he needs another Greninja, though. That's the thing. If he doesn't get another Greninja down,
Yeah.
things start getting really shaky here. So,
Okay.
but we see Super Rod. Gotta put back a water, then probably the Jirachi. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
three he has. So, gotta
And
shove back in it.
we should see the Ace Trainer right now, because that gives him more cards than N would.
Yeah. So we see Ace Trainer gonna put Darien down to 3 because he's up on prizes,
Yep.
and then Dominic's gonna get a full hand of 6. It's like a free punt.
Yeah. And Dominic really wants to find an energy right now.
Yeah. Go.
And- sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna
And
say
another Greninja, because to have a follow-up and a potential Greninja break follow-up next turn.
yeah, because if Dominic can Shadow Stitching here to knock out the Vest Queen and end him down to 3, knowing that 3 Via Seekers are already discarded, he should be in a fantastic position.
Yeah, as long as Darren doesn't draw too well out of the Ace Trainer.
Mm-hmm.
He did put back 2 DCs right now back in his deck, so that's good. But we see a pretty ideal setup for Dominic right now. Even
Yeah.
gets a splash. That's the
Yeah.
third splash we've seen, I believe.
So he's gonna Moonlight Slash most likely. He does top deck the DC and a Revitalizer. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So he will take a knockout this turn, and then Dominic could potentially do the whole Giant Water Shuriken Moonlight Slash knockout.
The combi and the Vespa.
Yeah.
That would be very good for
That
Dominic.
put him in like a really good position. He's gonna get everything back. Yeah. So I mean, if Dominic takes 2, if he takes 2 prize cards, he wins right now.
Well,
Oh no, Dominic. Sorry, wrong side. Wrong side. I
Wrong side,
I got excited. I was like, oh, he's gonna win right now. Nope, never mind.
But he will make Darren run out of attackers, and this is what you play for when you're Greninja. Like, you're trying to make sure that eventually you get 2 prizes out of a single turn, and we see a ton of energy. So it looks like Dominic might make the comeback here.
Yeah, he's gonna, like I said, probably Giant Water Skin at the bench.
Yep. Well, it looks like he doesn't do that.
Huh? Because maybe he just didn't notice like it has 90 HP.
Well, maybe he's going for a shadow stitching play.
Yes, that way. Maybe, like you said, maybe he doesn't know he plays Forest Giant Plants.
Yeah.
That could be the key difference here. But we see Burst Mode coming down as well, so that's fantastic for Dominic here.
Yeah.
Got the Vest Queen, he's got an N.
And he's got his last verse Seeker, so he could go for a Sycamore to give him the best odds of drawing the DC he needs.
Yeah, but he also needs to get another Vest Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
I don't know though. I think Dominic could have put himself in a lot better position if he had Giant Water Shuriken. I mean, sure, you allow Darren to play things like Unknown or Shaman EX, but he would have had to promote the Shaman. So
Yeah.
and he hasn't seen a single float stone or anything, and I believe Darren only plays 1, so he would have been put in a ton of pressure, and with no Forest of Giant Plants in sight, he would have had a free turn of more Giant Water Shuriken.
That is true. We do see the DC. We see Zora. Zora's really not going to matter in this matchup right now. So we see 60 from the Burst Balloon. Here comes Greninja, and
There's a break.
yeah. So there's the break. He's got the energy in hand too as well. So he could maybe Giant Water the bitch Zora, and then knock out the active with the Moonlight Slash.
But he doesn't have a second energy.
Yeah, he doesn't have second. So does he have a? Oh, he doesn't have a supporter card. So
yeah, exactly.
But Darian's not. We know he's not gonna take a knockout next turn. We know Darian doesn't play Force Giant Plants, and
well, we don't know. I thought he only played one special
charge,
and he just played the second one. So he did find a combi off of his prize card, so that's pretty important. If Dominic stays this way and doesn't find more energy, he could potentially get that last Vespiquen to take the last knockout here.
That's true. Now, if you're Dominic, do you go for Moonlight Slash? Or do you go for the Shadow Stitching?
He went for the Shadow Stitching, yeah.
And Todd's a Lysander, not really that useful. Combi in, so he's going in and down to one card. Oh my goodness! But if Dominic hits an energy, that's game. That's game.
Unless he retreats into Shaman, but I don't know. I don't.
No, if he still hits the energy, this game.
Never mind. He still does that. Yeah.
So, unless Darian has a sneaky dark energy in there for Moonless Madness, then it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Oh, Dominic's not even gonna show what he has. Let's see.
Does he get it?
I
saw Greninja break.
He is looking at his discard pile. I don't know. I do not know. He is digging for something. Let's see. So VS Seeker. Okay, so you definitely Sycamore.
Yeah. He was checking maybe to see if he had Fisherman there.
That's true. Yeah.
Sycamore. Are we gonna see the one energy he needs?
Okay, let's see. Oh, he had double VS Seeker. That's what we were talking about earlier with the Darian when he discarded all those VS Seekers. So
yeah.
Let's see, and yeah, he's got it. So yeah.
Giant Water Shuriken to the bench combi, and then Moonlight Slash for the game.
So yeah.
Wow. So I think the 3 splash energy actually came in huge for Dominic because he kept getting the Greninjas back. Like he didn't need to recycle them with a Super Art. He could actually get back energy, which he used right now with the Super Art, and the Pokemon simply always stayed in place thanks to the splash.
Yeah. How many did you play any splash energies in your list yesterday?
I did, but just the one.
Just the one. Oh, okay.
I had not only Jirachi but Beedrill EX, and I wanted to make sure I could have the best odds of attacking with either one in a situation where I needed to.
Yeah.
Because in the previous regionals I came to in Orlando, I actually lost a game because the only energy I drew to retreat my Jirachi was the splash. I was playing 2 splash and 7 water, and so I couldn't attach the splash to Jirachi. That was left active, and that extra prize card I gave up in that game was actually the determining factor. So in order to try to prevent that, I ended up with a single splash and 8 basic water energy, but Dominic's here on day 2 with 3 splash and no Beedrill.
It could be 4 splash.
Could be 4 splash, yeah.
It could be 4 splash, yeah. But like I said, he doesn't play the Beedrill, so doesn't really need. I mean, the thing about the waters though, you do need them for the giant water shuriken.
Yeah.
So you can't.
That as well.
Yeah.
Now I think both players are playing at a pretty good pace. They're not. I don't know. Getting 2 games done within less than half an hour is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we do see a mulligan for Dominic. So are we gonna have the endless mulligan cycle?
How many times do you think a mulligan this time?
I'm gonna go for 4.
4? Ooh, man. Do I go risking or like 10? Like set the new record? We already had 9.
9. Do you think we've ever seen 9 mulligans in stream before? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It'd be interesting to know what was the previous record.
The previous record? Start keeping account, like records for Pokemon streams. Most knockouts taking a turn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we see a second mulligan. Okay. Three burst melons.
Why not?
Yeah, sounds good. So.
Almost as bad as drawing 3 Verse Seekers together. That's what happened to me. I was actually saved so many times by my opponent playing a turn 1 N after I had a dead hand.
That's like the good and bad thing about N.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I need a new hand of 6, but I don't know what my opponent has. I know yesterday it was a ton of times where I'm like, I had a bunch of Volcanias down. Like, I'm just going to pass. I'm not going to play a supporter card. I have a bunch of Volcanias, a Hoopa. I really don't need anything, and I don't know if you have a good hand. So I'm just going to wait and see. Do I need it in? And we see a third mulligan right now. Okay, all right. So I'm pretty sure Dominic just plays the 4 Froakies and 1 Jirachi.
Yeah, I would assume so at that point. At this point as well.
So, but it did. Sorry, I said it did pay it off though.
Yeah, that's for sure. We do see 3 mulligans, so am I gonna guess right?
You said 5, right?
I said 4.
Oh, 4. Uh-oh. Oh, I see a water Pokemon. Oh, nope, just 3. No, sorry.
Okay.
2 Pokemon.
Wow.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. And that's not bad either with all the splash energies too, because
Yeah, definitely.
So Darren is gonna go first, which is huge.
And starts Zorua this time, so he's gonna be forced to play that, which he's shown like against me and in the previous game. He's not really comfortable using Zorua in this matchup.
Now see, is he? He already played the Acrobat. Okay, yeah. So right now he's got a Shaman, a DCE, Sycamore.
He has no way to find a combi.
Let's see. Oh, that's not wrong grass Pokemon.
Yeah.
He has 2 Vesquings in his hand right now with a DC, but we do know he plays 2 Special Charge.
We do know he. Yep. But it's once again he's gonna Sycamore away both Vespiquen and a DC already before getting to play the combi. So he's gonna once again lose resources that could end up mattering in a longer game.
Yeah. Now we see he does bench Azor with the DC, and that it could actually be very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get a bunch of Frogadiers out, Zoroark's gonna smack you.
Yeah, it makes sense. So. Like the first prize against a Greninja after, or against a Frogadier, against after on the turn he uses turn to water duplicate or water duplicates, it'll probably net you a KO, so it works as a Vespiquen.
That's true. Now Darren does Ultra for the Kemony, and he does have Vesqueen in his hand, so he looks like he's gonna have a good turn 2 setting up right now. So.
He finds the Zoroark and starts putting pressure on Dominic. That could be really good.
Yeah, especially if you can like let your Zoroarks get knocked down and save your Vesqueens for later. That's really useful too. So he does have Vesqueen DCE and N for next turn. You just gotta find a Flowstone or Zoroark next turn, and he'd start taking knockouts. So Dominic, would you ever try to go bubble in this situation, or do you not even waste energy on the active?
It depends entirely on my hand. If I have 2 water energy, then I might. If I only have 1, then I'd rather play very safe and simply save it in my hand in order to be able to attach it to whatever Froakie got KO'd. Because if you only have 1, and say you attach it to the benched, expecting the KO, and they Lysander and KO, and then you're out of energy, then you can't water duplicates. Or if you attach it to the active, and you whiff the flip, or he evolves and is able to KO the Froakie, then you're out of energy as well. And using that dive ball, once like before, unless he's going to... No, I don't know. There's no reason for me to go for the Frogadier right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to show your opponent you have the Frogadier, and if your opponent uses N, then you have 1 less card that you can actually use next turn in order to find the Frogadier, and that's exactly what we see.
Yeah. It's always weird. I mean, like you said, like you don't play dive ball unless you know for sure you're gonna use Frogadier that turn. You're gonna use water duplicates.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing, Dominic does have 3 Froakies down. I don't know if that means if he has like multiple Frogadiers prize or something, or
it could, and that might explain the dive pool play.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really important in the later stages of the game to thin out your deck of useless cards. So maybe if you have all your Greninja in play, you really don't need the dive ball, and you would just use it. But at this point in time, thinning your deck by 1 card that's actually useful to find a Frogadier is actually hurting your own chances to do good here.
Yeah. Now we see Clef come down. Just gonna get attached to Vesqueen. It's safe. He'll get popped off next turn because Clef only works for 1 turn. So that's a good thing. You don't even need Unknown sometimes.
Yep. And
so the thing about Dominic is he hasn't played his Porter card yet, and I think he doesn't have his Porter card in his hand again.
This Trainer's Mail is going to be huge. Now we do see a dive ball, so he could get, and he's gonna go immediately for it. So
yeah,
gonna see the water duplicates.
So I guess it's okay that he doesn't have a supporter card because he's still gonna get a setup. That's the good thing about Greninja. Sometimes you don't even need to play a supporter card. You're like, all right, I'm just gonna water duplicates. He has a burst balloon, splash energy. He's good to go.
He's good to go this turn.
Yeah, but next
he's gonna rely on a lot on the top deck next turn.
But see, Darien is in a situation. If he has an in, does he play it? I mean, because like against Greninja, like, oh, he just water duplicates. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
That's why he didn't use a supporter.
Yeah.
Or.
But we only see 2 Frogadiers coming down, so.
Yep. One's priced. That's never good news for the Greninja player.
Exactly. Especially because earlier we talked about the math, like with Moonlight Slash, with the the Shadow Stitching plus the Burst Balloon. He can't do that with Zork. Does Zork have 100 or 100 HP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100
So,
HP.
yeah, so it's right there. What am I talking about? It's right there on the screen.
I actually just saw Dominic's hand, and he does have a Sycamore, so
Oh, okay.
looks like he's
Good to go.
gonna be okay for next turn. Yeah.
Yeah. But he is going to be down 2 prize cards.
Yep.
So,
And 1 Frogadier prize. We saw last game that Dominic had to literally use his last Greninja. Like his
It did come
what
down
was
to
it,
the last-
the
yeah.
6th Greninja or
Yeah.
5th Greninja. So that Frogadier might end up hurting him in the longer run if he can't find the Frogadier off of his prize cards.
now Darien does have a Lysander. You could do that play like you said earlier. Lysander a Froakie, knock it out. The Burst Wind doesn't hurt you. And then Dominic can't take a knockout this turn.
Yeah.
So,
But we've seen Darren not like to do those plays, so
ooh,
maybe
so we see a Shaman coming down. He does have a V-Seeker and an N. Be interesting to see which supporter he decides to use. And there's some Ultra Balls, so he can... If you Ultra Ball, do you try to get a Zork or do you get another Vesqueen here?
I think you go for Vespiquen.
Yeah.
I mean, the Zoroark is... After the game goes on longer, it's gonna get less strong because Dominic will run out of benched Pokemon eventually.
Yeah. But it looks like he is going to discard Shaman, which I do like that. Does that thing, and he's going to discard it in, which most likely means it looks like he's eyeballing the Lysander.
Yeah.
You're discarding all these resources, so hopefully he goes to his Lysander play to bring up a Frogadier. Now, he did discard 2 Vesqueens turn 1.
He did.
So if he gets a Zoroark here, then the other Vesqueen is priced.
Yeah, definitely. And we
It's
see, I don't
priced,
know.
yeah. So,
Okay.
so even though Dominic prized a Frogadier, Darien has prized a Vesqueen and discarded 2.
Yep.
So he does have the Revitalizer in hand though, so he could get a Vesqueen out right now, and he gets another energy on the field. Lysander.
Lysander
Yeah, okay, there we go.
play,
I do like that play a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And
So-
he's getting, like, even though he has the 2 Vespiquen in the discard pile, he's also getting a lot of mileage out of his active Zoroark, so that's
Yeah.
really good to compensate for that early game discard.
That's true. I'm gonna see another balloon. That's the good thing about playing 4 of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we do see he gets the Frogadier back, which is really good for Dominic with the Super Art, and he's gonna Sycamore for a brand new hand, so you're hoping to hit at least a Greninja.
Yeah, if you don't hit a Greninja here, the game has to be almost over.
Yeah.
With Darien having 2 Vesqueens, a Zorg, just knocking everything out. So
He already attached the splash, so we're not gonna see a Stardust this turn.
no, that was from last turn because remember he Lysander, so
Oh,
he could start
I'm
us this
sorry.
turn. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
fine. But he does find that Greninja. So question is, do you retreat and Stardust? Or he doesn't have a Jirachi. That's
Yeah,
the first.
he
Yeah.
hasn't found
Oh,
the
there.
Jirachi
Speaking of Jirachi, there it is. Trader's Mail. So.
How many times do you wish you could grab something else off of the trainer's mail?
All the
then?
time.
Happens so much. when
Or
you
how
just-
many times do you want a trader's mail, grab the trader's mail?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I need the trader. I need to keep going. Like, oh, well, I can't grab it. Thanks, Pokemon. So, it'd be really broken if you can trader's mail for a Shaman.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like this Shaman off this trader's mail. Thank you.
See, then you do have Great Ball for that.
But we do see a Greninja, a Splash Unicorn, and that guy on the bench. So, ooh, do you go for Shadow Stitching or Moonlight Slash or?
It's a difficult decision. I mean, you definitely keep the energy there. So he does go for the Shadow Stitching.
Yeah. And I do like that play because Zoroark's not gonna take a knock on this Greninja. It's
Yeah.
only doing 70 right now, so it's not. Yeah. So Darien's forced to attack with his Vesqueen this turn, but he's gonna go down to 3 prize cards to 6, and
Darren, I believe, does have a Verseeker in his hand, so he could Verseeker
Bring it
for
to
the
Frog.
Lysander and
Yeah.
KO Froakie. Could potentially KO the Frogadier as well.
but the problem with that is he could get Greninja Break online. I don't know how much the difference in 60 damage for that one turn with the giant water skin would be,
Yeah,
but
true.
it's something you have to always think about with this stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'd be fine with letting a Vesqueen get knocked out here because, or getting a Burst Balloon damage,
Yeah.
because Dominic can't take 2 Vesqueen knockouts this turn. He doesn't have a Greninja Break. He can't,
Yeah, that's true.
but he does have the Splash Energy, so all those Pokemon going to return back to his hand.
Yep.
That's a good thing here.
Yep. Definitely compensates quite a bit for the fact that Dominic has the Frogadier prize still. But now he has a 1 in 6 chance to get it off his prize cards.
This is where Tao might come in clutch.
Yep.
Yeah. So the scary thing about Dominic here is Darren has that Vesquin on the bench. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to attack next turn. Like I'm good to go. Like doesn't he need to find it in DC? We see an N. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, it's not going to matter at this point. Darren's deck is pretty thin, so it hurts even less. And he did play the Revitalizer to get back both Vespiquins, and at this point in the match, Darren should have access to 4 Vespiquins to be able to deal with all the Greninjas.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if he got the one off the prize card. I don't recall.
I don't think we've seen it so far.
But I think Darren did get a VS Seeker, so he does have a supporter card for next turn if he needs to use one.
And he found the Floatstone as well, his second Floatstone.
So he's looking good.
Yeah, he's looking good.
So Trainer's Mail. I mean, imagine in this situation you try to get that Frogadier right there that we see to try to get set up even more. Does have a Froakie, which I think you'd actually probably bench it because you get the Splash Energy in the active. Ooh, but he's going to discard it. Okay.
So maybe he's going to go for Jirachi right now. Yeah, there it is.
Now, the question becomes, we know Darren has a licensed discard pile.
Yeah.
So you treat, bring out the Greninja, or do you bring out the Frogadier?
I think I would go for Greninja. Because, as you mentioned, getting or preventing Greninja break from hitting play is really good because that's the only thing that can actually turn things around and allow Dominic to grab 2 prizes in a single turn.
That's true. But I guess he doesn't have the energy and has to go with that instead. They're going to see Zoroark. Now, Zoroark still can't take a knockout. It's only doing 3, 6, 9, 100 damage. 130, too much. Yeah. So, another DC as well. Like, oh my goodness, he is.
Now, I think if you're Darren, you might consider KOing the Jirachi because Jirachi is the only thing that might make you whiff a turn of KO at this point. And we do see the Verse Seeker.
Let's see. Did he pass by the leg and go for Sycamore? Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, he does play that Ranger, so Ranger could become useful. He could find another Lysander, so he has a lot of options in his deck.
Yeah.
So there's a VS Seeker to Acrobike, so he's looking good.
Yeah, if you're Darren, you want to make your deck as thin as possible. Then, if Dominic's gonna follow up with another, another N.
Yeah, but he finds another Revitalizer, so another Vesquin coming down. Probably grabs another Combi, and we saw Vesquin in his deck. Like, oh man, if you're Dominic here, how are you feeling right now? If you're Dominic,
you're feeling a bit. I don't know. It's gonna be really difficult for Dominic. Really, really difficult.
So see Vesquin, Kobe. He's got another Zoroark. He can just put that down if he wants to, so that way he doesn't draw into it if he gets in, kind of thing. Yeah. So we'll see Vesquin come up. We'll see a knockout. He does put down the Zoroark. Maybe just wants to save it for later. We'll see a good old Frogadier. So, but like we said earlier, Greninja, all of it gets returned back into his hand because of that Splash Energy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many that is. Is that his third or fourth one?
I believe that's the third one we've seen. But at this point, I wouldn't put 4 past him.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. Does he go for the star display? Well, he can't go for it all. He has 3 VS Seekers in his hand.
Yeah, he has to end here,
Yeah. Or maybe no, you end for
Masters
sure.
32, that is your time call.
So
Masters 32.
So VS Seeker, gonna grab the end.
Except for the stream match. You still got time.
I think Dominic, his only potential play is the end, preventing Darren from attacking a single turn, and then Dominic being able to chain Lysander to get rid of all the DCs, maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, if Dominic can find a Greninja, well, he already put that Frogadier down this turn, if I remember correctly. So if he can get 2 Greninja breaks up, he might be able to swing this match because there is a Kemony X on that bench. Or he can knock out all the Vesquins. I don't know. But does he? Okay, he does find the water, and he is going to go for that star display.
Yeah. Which makes sense. If you're not going to KO, you might as well Stardust.
And now he can do the whole Moonlight Slash knockout thing.
Yep.
If he wants to, but that's still very scary. But there's another Vesquin.
Not only going to be very scary, but
Special
Yeah.
charge. Oh man, two special ninjas get shoved back in his deck. I will give props to Darren playing old school DCs.
Yeah.
It's not the evolution ones. Those are the
Yeah, those are the old school.
Yeah, those
because
are the
they
old
have
schools.
the text.
Yeah, that's what I play in my decks. I love those.
I don't have any, otherwise I would definitely play those.
They're like $2. Go ahead and buy some.
Oh, I will. I will. I did not know.
I think they're like $2. But he's going to treat to Zorak. So does he have? Oh, a Ranger. Wow. So not only does he save his Vest Queens, he takes a knockout this turn. That ends the 3.
Yeah.
Special charge and Ranger in the same hand. Can't ask for
pretty
more.
good.
Can't ask for
Yeah.
more.
And if Dominic doesn't Lysander up the Vespiquen with the damage and finds a way to recover Jirachi and Stardust in his turn, there's no way Dominic can prevent a KO next turn.
Well, if he finds a Jirachi, he could just start us the active energy. I don't know how useful that's going to be either
Well,
way, but
yeah.
it comes down to how many VS Seekers Dare to use, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
He has multiple left and he's okay, but one prize card left for Darian. 1 to 5.
He could go for the bubble play as well. I mean,
Bubble?
that's always an option.
Bubble for deck out.
Bubble for deck out.
But if he does get that second Zorak down,
Yeah.
that's
game.
that's game. So we'll see what happens. Dominic should make sure he looks at all of his options here. Top 32, trying to grind out to make top 8. Both these
Yeah.
players, what, 20s?
21 points.
21, so they have to win 3 rounds today?
At least three rounds.
Yeah.
And possibly tie another one to win. We're playing 5 rounds.
And there we see, Dominic must not have anything. You see Darren does advance.
Wow.
Still, good matchups for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And Darren must feel really happy. I mean, he got a win and in against Greninja, and then he starts off the day with another victory against Greninja.
I don't think there's a lot of Greninjas in the cut either. So playing the one, I think there's maybe just Dominic. When I remember looking at, I don't remember exactly. I saw a little bit of the bracket, but I don't remember seeing a lot of Greninjas or Volcania. So I don't remember seeing a lot of ability decks in here. So
Okay.
yeah. Yep. All right, but guys, we'll be right back here with round at number 11, day 2. Yeah. See ya.
We'll be right back, guys.
All right.